All right. Hi, all. Welcome to today's. Hello. Tripti, can you hear me?
Hi Tejas, yes.
You can hear me and you can see my screen, right? All
Right.
right.
I am able to say it. Tejas, before we begin with the webinar, I was just wondering if we could ask the current professors if there are other professors from their colleges who might have registered or attended yesterday's session if they want to join in today's session also.
Right. So, yeah. So all the attendees, if you have any one of your colleagues who had attended yesterday's webinar and would like to uh, join today's webinar as well, if you can suggest, like we can wait for a few more minutes and then start with this webinar. So this is in continuation with the webinar that we conducted yesterday. We had a lot of attendees yesterday. However, some of the attendees who attended yesterday's webinar are missing today. So we just wanted to make sure that if you have any colleagues who are willing to join in, we can wait for another few minutes. You can see a chat window in front of you on your screen, so you can mention if you have any messages for us, you can type in those messages in the chat window. Tripti will see if we get
Yes.
any messages.
Right.
Right.
I believe we can start with giving the preview of yesterday's webinar for 5 minutes or so, and then we can begin with the main webinar for today.
Right. All right. All right. So who's there is available? We'll just start with what we just an overview of what we covered yesterday. So we had the part one webinar conducted yesterday. If any of the attendees who is attending it today and has missed the yesterday's webinar, uh, just to brief you again, QuestionPro is it has associated with your institute and is your online research partner. Under this association, what we have done is we have created individual QuestionPro accounts for you people, which you can use in your research activities. And also we have some of our faculty members, some of our clients who have been using the software in conducting online tests, online quizzes, etc. So yes, this basically is a survey software. However, you can also use it in conducting online tests, and that is why, like for faculty members, we are running this program, which we call it as Assessments Made Easy with QuestionPro. Similarly, we are also doing a program for students. We have been running this program since April, and since management students, this period from April onwards is the students are out for their internships. We started with this program. We call it as Internships Made Easy with QuestionPro, wherein we intended to uh, help students gain expertise on the software so that during the internship they can use the software in their research project. So for faculty members, as I said, again, similar pattern. We are doing 3 webinars. There are overall 3 modules in the software. Creating a survey is one thing. Uh, the other module that we have is like making the survey that you have created, making that survey smarter using the survey logic that QuestionPro supports, and then distributing the surveys. So this is what we will be covering today, the survey logic and distribution of the service to ensure a wider reach of your service. And the third module that we have is a reporting module. So QuestionPro also supports a comprehensive reporting features, which we'll be covering in the third webinar, which is scheduled for tomorrow. So yesterday we covered designing a survey. Like as I mentioned, we have already created your accounts. To access your accounts, you can visit our website, questionpro.com, and then you can see a sign-in link over there. You can click on the sign-in link, and then you can enter in your credentials and start using the account. Before that, I would also like to mention here, uh, each one of you is also entitled to 24 by 7 technical support from our side. So we provide the support over online chat. On the website, you can see this particular portion. So by clicking on this, you can initiate.
Hi Tejas. Tejas,
Yes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you in between, but we're not able to see your screen right now.
All
We're
right,
able to see the Zoom screen, but not the main screen.
just a moment. Right, it should be visible now, Triti.
Yes, yes, it is.
Right,
It
I'm
is.
so sorry for
Yeah,
that.
it's okay.
Right, so right, so to access your accounts, you'll have to visit questionpro.com. This is our website, and this is the sign-in link that I was talking about. So you can click on the sign-in link and then enter in your credentials and start using the software. I was mentioning about the chat support, online chat support. To so you can see this option, the bottom right corner. If you click on this, from here you can initiate an online chat. A support representative from QuestionPro will be available 24 by 7 answering whatever queries that you have related to the software. So please make full use of it whenever you are using the software. You are stuck with any feature, you require any support from our side, get on an online chat and the support representative will ensure that your queries are answered. Also, if in case uh, you want to refer certain help files, so we have a knowledge base uploaded onto the website itself. So you can simply go to questionpro.com/help. This is where you will find the entire knowledge base. So we have help files for all the features that are available on the software. So you can simply search for a particular feature and you will find a help file explaining a detailed explanation of that particular feature along with screenshots will be available over here. In addition to this, I'm mentioning an email ID over here. So just a moment, right? So please make a note of this email address, that is edu-india@questionpro.com. So if you have any queries related to your QuestionPro account, any queries related to your survey or the research work that you're performing or an online test that you're conducting, you can simply write to us. This email would reach to the academic team, and someone of us from the academic team will try and get back to you immediately, and will try and solve whatever queries that you have. So please make a note of this email address. We'll quickly move forward. I'll just give you an overview of creating a survey. So I clicked on sign in, and all right. So when I sign into the account, I have many surveys created in the account. This is the dashboard view of my account. So in the dashboard, I can see all the surveys that I've created. All the surveys are listed down over here. But when if you are logging in for the first time, you'll not be able to see the surveys, as there are no surveys into your account. You can see three options of creating a new survey. So to create a new survey, if I have some service listed and this is the dashboard view, to create a new survey, I'll simply have to click on this button, that is create survey. So click on create survey. Yesterday we covered all these options. So how to create a survey from scratch. So there are three ways of creating a survey into QuestionPro. Creating a survey from scratch is one way. The other is we have 70 plus professionally written templates into your account. So whenever you log into the account, you can access all the templates from here. You can see, select template category. So there are different categories and number of surveys under each category. So if you are, say you're doing a survey on employee feedback, you can simply go to that particular category. You can find all these templates available. If you want to preview the template, you can click on this. And if you want to use this template, you can simply click on use and a new survey would be created into your account with all the questions. There are 10 questions in this survey, in this template. So a new survey with all 10 questions would be created into your account. And then minor edits here and there, if you want to do, you can start editing it. So we have options to edit already added questions, and also you can do inline editing, etc. So this is how you can utilize whatever templates. If you just want to refer what all questions do we have in a particular template, you can refer those questions and then start creating your own survey from scratch by clicking on this option. And the third option to create a survey into QuestionPro is you can import a survey from a Microsoft Word document. So for example, if you have a survey, a questionnaire prepared on a Word document, say you have around 25, 30 questions in that survey, and you do not want to do rework again, adding all the questions from scratch, what you can simply do is you can import that Word document, and then your survey would be up and running into your QuestionPro account. So to do that, you simply need to, there is a sample Microsoft Word document. So what you'll have to do is the survey you have on the Word document, you'll have to convert into this, in this particular format. You can download it from here. You can refer the format and convert your Word document in same format, so that the system understands what questions and answer options that you have, and then you can simply import it. So these are three ways. I'll quickly run you through. What I'll do is I'll open up an existing survey. Just a moment. Right. So I have this survey created into my account, and I have all these questions. So a survey, when you have added all the questions, this is how a survey would look like into your account if you want to. So over here you can see we currently are under the edit tab, and under edit we are under workspace. So this is what we covered yesterday: edit, under which workspace, interface, languages, security, etc. All these options we covered yesterday. Today we'll be covering the survey logic, which I'll be starting with in another few minutes. And then we'll be covering the send options. So under workspace, you can see this basically is the survey link. Whatever survey you create, this is the link. You can simply copy it, share it with anybody over WhatsApp, email, all the mediums that you have. You can simply send it over to people, and people can start answering the survey. I click on preview. I can preview the survey, how the survey would look like. So I have a logo, I have a header, and I have all these questions. So I do not want to take a lot of time into this because we have already covered it yesterday, but I'll quickly show you what all question types that we have. So question types, there are a few basic question types. So QuestionPro supports 40 plus question types. And there are a few basic question types, or we also call it as standard question types. And we have certain advanced question types. So under basic, these are quite straightforward. So multiple choice question. Under this, we have three variants, that is select one, select many. Select one is respondent can select only one answer option. Select many is respondent can select multiple answer options. And a drop-down menu is another variant. So all the answer options will be displayed in a drop-down, and respondents can select a value from the drop-down. Then we have text questions. So if you want to capture some open-ended text, you can use these question types. So a comment box, or you wish to capture somebody's name, say phone number, etc. You can use comment box. For email address, you can use this question type. This basically validates whether the entered value is in a proper email format or not. So if you want to capture email address, you can use this question type. And then there is a comprehensive contact information question type, wherein you can capture all these 3, 4 fields, that is first name, last name, phone, email address, etc. Then we have graphical rating. So very widely used. This question types, each one of us know what a star rating question type is. So under this, we have star rating. We have text slider. So it would be a slider. Respondent can simply slide and give out a feedback. Then we have numeric slider, similar to text slider, but the values would be in numbers. Then we have thumbs up, thumbs down, like do you like it or do you hate it? And the smiley rating, all variants of a graphical rating question. We also have a question type called push to social, wherein you can ask a respondent if somebody has given you uh, a positive feedback, say a 4-star rating or a 5-star rating. You can ask that respondent to push that positive feedback onto his or her social media pages. So another interesting question type that we support. Then we have matrix table. So matrix table, as you can see on the right hand side, this is how the question type looks like. There would be a matrix that there will be some row choices, some column choices, and respondent can select. In this, another variant is multi-select. So respondents can select multiple options and give out a response. And we have spreadsheet, wherein respondent can, it would be an open-ended type of a question. It would be, again, there would be row choices, column choices. However, the respondent will have to enter in the response in the text boxes provided against each row and column. And then we have a side by side matrix as well. So three row choices and say two dimensions, that is importance and satisfaction. You want to take a feedback on how important a particular attribute is and how satisfied that respondent is with that particular attribute. So it can also have a third dimension as well. So you can simply edit it. Editing a question is quite straightforward. Like we covered it yesterday. If you play around with your software, you try and add any question, you can simply do inline editing. There are a bunch of options which you can use. Then we have ordering. So if you want to ask the respondent to order the choices that you have given out, you can use the ordering question type, in which we have three variants. So rank order is a simple, there would be a drop down and a rank can be selected by the respondent. Drag and drop is respondent can simply drag and drop the answer option as per his preferences, his or her preferences. And then we have a constant sum. So if you ask a respondent to allocate certain number of points to the answer options, then it would be taken care of that the sum of all the allocated points will remain a constant, and that is, like, if you have allocated 100 points, it would be 100. If you have allocated 1000 points, it would be 1000. And then we have image chooser. Under image chooser we have, so image chooser, one interesting feature of QuestionPro, you can have images used into your survey. So you can upload images to your QuestionPro account and then use it into your questions. Under image chooser, what you can do is you can have different images as answer options and people can give out responses based on it. In this, again, we have select one, select many, and rating. And then there are certain static content question types, like if you want to have a section heading, a subheading, or a presentation text. So for this, respondent will not be responding to it, but if you want to insert certain instructions or some kind of information that you want to give out to the respondents, you can use the static content question types. Then we have date and time, calendar question types to capture, uh, say, a date of birth or a schedule of a webinar, etc. And maps question to capture locations. So this was all about the standard question types. Again, we have under advanced question types, we have net promoter score. So you can calculate the net promoter score using this question type. We have Van Westendorp price sensitivity. So if you want to uh, revamp the pricing of a particular product or service and you want to run a survey on that, you can use this. Then we have budget scale. So if you're planning to decide a budget for a particular function, you can use a budget scale question type. These are all under customer satisfaction. Then we have data reference, under which so reference data basically would be a valid zip code. It would be a zip code kind of a question. You can select a country and the system will accept only a valid zip code if this particular thing is used. So this is called as reference data because we are referencing some data, some valid data in the backend, and then validate the responses that we're getting out of it. Then lookup table, again, a drop down kind of a thing, but all the values can be looked up. And a multi-tier lookup table would be a lookup table under a lookup table. So you can have multiple tiers under each lookup table. And again, store locator is a location question type. Yesterday we had a question like if we can insert videos into the service. Yes, we can do that. As I mentioned earlier, image, you can have images and multimedia uploaded to your QuestionPro account. So this is where you see tube pulse and video rating question type. So you can have some videos uploaded to the survey and respondents can give out a feedback on the basis of their experience. Then we have heat map, hotspot, mobile question types basically. So QuestionPro also has an offline mobile app. So each one of you, along with your QuestionPro account, also get access to one offline app. So in fact, you can have multiple apps downloaded on multiple devices, right? So say 5 devices, 5 QuestionPro apps you can use, but you get one free mobile app. The rest, for the rest of the devices, it would be a paid thing. But yes, it is an offline app and it works without internet connection. So these question types are basically designed for a mobile survey that is running on a mobile app. Then we have certain upload question types. That is, if you want the respondents to upload a few files or a signature to your survey, they can do it from here. And logic we'll be covering today. So I'll be covering this thing in detail. We have also conjoint models. So if any one of you is planning to run conjoint analysis in the service, we also support that. So conjoint and maxdiff is one thing that you can do using QuestionPro. And then we have uh, a specific question type for the healthcare industry. So we call it as human plus question. So anybody running a survey into human plus question, you can use this question type. If you have any queries, you can definitely get on a chat or write to us, or maybe refer the help files as well. So this was all about the question types. Then I'll quickly go back to the rest of the option interfaces. You can change the interface of the survey. So if you want to change the look and feel of the survey, how it appears to the respondent, you can do it from your languages. QuestionPro supports multilingual surveys. So if you wish to run a survey in say Hindi or say Marathi or Telugu, Kannada, etc. So you can run this. So QuestionPro completely supports that. There are about 90 plus languages that QuestionPro supports. So you can have the service fielded in any language that you wish to. Security. So like there are a few things that you can do once you have created a survey. Like if you want to have a survey authentication, for example, like you want to have your survey password protected, only the people who have uh, password to the survey can access it. You can do it from here under security. Yeah, survey authentication, then security. Like if you want to add another level of security to your survey, so that just to ensure that the data is secured. Then from here you can make the changes. Like if you want the respondent to take the survey only once, you can enable this. If you want allow multiple replies from a single user, you can enable.
Hi Tejas.
Yeah, Garima.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but is it possible? Can you please jump to logic, because a couple of professors have pointed out that it's taking too long, and though although you are revising everything very in detail, but I think we'll run short of time if we cover the entire thing.
Sure, I'll do that.
So
I'll do
yeah,
that, Garima.
yes, please jump to logic.
Right.
All
Thanks,
right.
thanks, Garima.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so we'll get started with logic. I'll quickly go to edit survey. So yeah, survey logic. Once we have created the entire survey, I want to make my survey smarter. So we have different options, different survey logic that we can use. I'll quickly go to a few surveys that I've already created. Give me a moment. Right. So QuestionPro supports a few survey logic. I'll quickly show you what all logic that QuestionPro supports, and then we'll start covering each logic one by one. So this is a survey that I've created. So once we have created a survey, you open up a survey, you are under the edit tab itself. On mouse over, you can see all these options on the right hand side. So you can see an option of logic. So I click on logic. So these are all the survey logic that we can include in our survey. So there is skip logic, compound delayed branching, quota control, dynamic text comments, and all this. So we'll be covering each one one by one. So I'll first show you how a skip logic works. So why skip logic is used, like in your survey, say if there is a question, uh, say a gender question, what is your gender, male, female, and the rest of the questions, like you want to capture responses only for male from male, and you do not want to capture responses from female. So anybody who is responding as female, you want to branch or skip all the questions in the survey, and you can simply terminate that survey for the respondents. So this is how you can use skip logic. I'll quickly, I have added this question. You can see, do you conduct surveys? Yes, no. And then how often do you conduct surveys? So if somebody is not conducting surveys, the remaining questions are of, like, it's no point in asking that respondent the rest of the questions, like how often do you conduct surveys, which online service software do you use. So what, I'll quickly show you how it works. So this is the preview of the survey. So the first question is, do you conduct surveys? Say if I click on no, the survey is terminated for me. Similarly, if I click on yes, just a moment. So if I click on yes, the next question is asked to me. So this is how the skip logic works. I'll show you how to apply a skip logic. So to apply a skip logic, you need to click on logic, and you see the first option, skip logic. We also call it as branching logic. So you see, I'll reset the logic first. So quite easy to understand. You can see under skip logic. So this is the question, do you conduct service? And the answer option is yes, no. So if somebody is selecting yes, I will branch him or her to the next question. That is, how often do you conduct service, right? And then if somebody is selecting no, then I will go to thank you page. So I can branch that particular respondent to the thank you page, and then I save the logic, right? You can see it has been successfully updated. And this is how you can apply skip logic to the service. I also wanted to cover few more things over here. So in the branching part, you can also see you can either branch him, the respondent, to any of the questions, or you get all these options: terminate the survey, go to thank you page, and there is a change survey option. So if you select change survey, what you can do is, if somebody, so in this case, what will happen is somebody is selecting yes, then you can change that particular respondent to entirely new survey that is created into your QuestionPro account. So you will have to enter in the name. So these are all the surveys available in my QuestionPro account. I can simply select one and then change that particular respondent to that survey. Right. So this was all about the branching logic. So all the attendees at any point of time, if you have any questions, I believe you have already started asking your questions, but I have my colleagues Garima and Tripti doing this webinar along with me. You can simply write your questions in the Q&A section, and they will try and answer the questions there and there itself. If required, we can also unmute you. So if you have any questions, please start raising your questions, and we'll start taking those questions now. So this was about skip logic. The another thing which we have, which we could see over here is the piping text. So in the skip logic itself, now what is piping text? So if you want to use a text from so fr from a particular answer option, if somebody has selected a particular answer option and you want to use that text, that answer option in the next question that is coming up, then this is where you can use piping text. So what happens is that text is piped to the next question. So I have another survey created for this. I will show you. It would be easier for you to understand from there. So you can see piping text question, this survey. So my first question in this is, which of the following brands do you use? And then answer options are Sony and LG. And then the next question is, why do you prefer? And then I want to use whatever answer option that the respondent has selected in my next question. So this is the syntax that we use for carrying forward the text, that is dollar curly bracket open piping underscore text curly bracket close. So I'll show you first how it works. So see, I've selected Sony. I click on next, and you can see why do you prefer Sony? So Sony has appeared over here. So to carry forward the text from earlier question to the next question, we use piping text, and how you can do it is go to logic. You see, if Sony is selected, then I will be branched to the next question, that is Q2, and the piping text I've selected as Sony. So whatever the answer option is, I've mentioned it over here, so that this text is carried forward to the question number 2. Similarly, if somebody selects LG, then the piping text is LG, and it is carried forward to the next question. So this is how piping text is used. An important point to note here is piping text can be used only to carry forward the text from one question to the next question. That is from question number one to question number two. If you want to carry forward the text from say question number one to question number three or question number five or question number seven, piping text cannot be used. In that case, what you can use is we have custom variables. So there are about 255 custom variables that QuestionPro supports. You can store certain values in custom variables, and then you can recall those values whenever and wherever you want in your survey, in your reports, maybe in the email invitation that you are sending across or the thank you page, anywhere, right? So you can store values into custom variables. For that, I will again move back to a survey that I've created. So over here, you see if somebody has selected this answer option, the piping text is QuestionPro, and I'm storing this value in custom variable. So you see, you can select. So there are 255 custom variables that we support. You store it into custom variable one. Similarly, if somebody is selecting SurveyMonkey as the answer option, that option is selected again selected into custom variable one. So what happens is you can once you have stored a particular value into custom variable, you can recall it wherever in your survey. So you can see this is how you can recall a custom variable. So since it was in custom one, this is the syntax that you can use. You see, I have recalled it in subsequent next two subsequent questions. So I'll quickly preview this. I select Question Pro and I click on next. You see how would you rate Question Pro? So this text has appeared over here. And then I click on next. In the next question as well, this text has appeared over here. QuestionPro. Why do you use QuestionPro? So this is how you can use piping text and custom variables. I'll be throwing some more light on custom variables, how you can upload custom variables, store some custom variables, use it into different.
Hi, Tejas.
Yeah, Tripti.
Tejas, Professor Nitin wants to understand as to why does one need to use custom variables in a particular survey?
Right. So fine, I'll take this question now. Tripti.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Professor Nitin, I'll for now, I'll give you a short overview on why we require custom variables. And then once I explain it, how to use custom variables into the survey, it will be more clear for you. I'll be moving to that part after some time. So custom variables, basically, I'll give you an example. You are sending out your survey through an email invite to say 1,000 people, right? You have an email list of 1,000 people. You have everybody's email addresses. You have everybody's name. Yeah. Hello. All right. So you have email address, you have first name, last name, etc. You have department, all these values for each and every email address. Now, when I'm sending an email invite, I want to personalize that email invite. I don't want it to look that like I'm not mentioning somebody's name. I'm simply writing hello, please take this survey and the survey link. Instead of that, what I want to do is I want to mention name. That is, if I'm writing it to myself, it would be hi Tejas uh, from this particular company, this particular department, and then about something about survey. So to personalize this, I can have this name, the department, the company name, everything stored in a custom variable, and then it can be recalled into the email invite that I'm sending across. So this is one thing where you can use custom variables. Again, the example that I gave to you just now, if you want to capture the answer option that somebody has given, right, and then use it into subsequent questions, you can use that. So these are few examples wherein you can use custom variables. I hope I have answered this question here. Will be how to define this custom variables. We'll be covering this after some time. Right. So moving on to the next logic, I'll go to another survey. So we have covered skip, branching, piping, text, and custom variables to certain extent. Then we have compound and delayed branching. So skip logic or branching logic was a straightforward branching, like one question. From one question, you are branching the respondent to other questions into the survey. Now, what is compound and delayed branching? So say in case there are 10 questions in your survey, I'm at question number 5. And after question number 5, I want to branch the respondents to some section of the survey based on what he or she had responded to my earlier questions. That is, say question number 1, question number 2. So that is why it is called as compound branching. I'll give you an example with this survey. So first question in my survey is gender male, female. Second question is age group, like are you below 18 or above 18? And then the third question is a simple static content thing wherein I display you are not eligible for marriage, you are eligible for marriage. So anybody who is selecting male and above 18 or female and above 18, then you are eligible for marriage should. So this is where the respondent needs to be branched to. So I'll show you how it works. I'll first preview it. Oh, I have survey authentication added to this. Give me a moment. Right. So I'll preview this. I select female and I select above 18. I get branched to the fourth question which was in my survey, that is you are eligible for marriage. Now how it works is, how you can apply this logic is, you see here, so click on logic. The logic needs to be applied on the question. See, this is the question I want to apply the logic at. So I click on logic, compound delayed branching, and then I need to define a criteria, right? So I'll just reset it. So see, I currently have no criteria added. I'll have to create a new criteria. I'll name it as compound branching, and then I will define it. So if question gender, if female is selected, plus, and if the next question, that is question to age group, above 18 is selected, I save this. So see, if gender female is selected and age group above 18 is selected, if the criteria is met, jump to you are eligible for marriage. Otherwise, jump to you are not eligible for marriage. So this is a simple and or logic that you apply to the survey. So in the criteria where I created, I'll again create a new criteria. I'll show you. We call it as test. So if question gender, if male is selected, and so here you can see this is simple and or logic that we are applying. So instead of and, I can do it as or. So if gender male is selected or gender female is selected, and I'll keep on adding the criteria from here on. So this is how you can design your own logic and or logic, and then you can use compound delayed branching. So in this case, I have only say 4 questions and I've applied the logic onto question number 2. But if you had few more questions before this, you could have applied. So say there was a question number 3, I could have applied a logic on question number 3, and the criteria that I've created could be in that I could have used any question, that is question number 1, 2, or 3. So this is how compound and delayed branching works. We'll move on to the next logic. Then we have show and hide logic. So now what is show and hide logic? Say based on the answer option that a respondent has selected, whether I as a survey admin, I want to show the next question or hide the any question in my survey, I can do that using show and hide logic. So for example, this is the survey that I've created to explain show and hide logic. So the first question is, which is your favorite holiday destination? So there are four options: Switzerland, Paris, Bali, and Italy. And then the next questions would be, I would ask the respondents to rate the holiday destination. That is Switzerland. The same thing for Switzerland. How would you rate Switzerland? How would you rate Paris? How would you rate Bali? And how would you rate Italy? And these are simple star rating questions. So this particular question, which is your favorite holiday destination, is a single select question. So if in case a respondent is selecting Paris, then there is no point in asking how would you rate Switzerland and this question, right? Or for Bali as well and for Italy as well. In that case, what I'll do is, for a respondent who is selecting Paris, only this question would appear, that is how would you rate Paris, and the rest of the questions will be hidden from that respondent. So I'll just show you. First, I'll just preview it. Right, you see, so I select Paris, and the next question that I have is, how would you rate Paris? All the rest of the questions have been hidden. I click on this, the survey is terminated. So how to apply this logic? So you see, this logic needs to be applied on all this, the rating question types. So for Switzerland, I click on logic. You see, I'm currently on show hide logic. I'll just reset this. All right. So similar to the compound and delayed branching, this is where you will have to create your own criteria. I name it at S/H logic. So if question, which is your favorite holiday destination, and this is for Switzerland, right? So if Switzerland is selected, I'll name it as, sorry. So if Switzerland is selected, I save this. So if criteria is met, show question. So this is for Switzerland. This question is for Switzerland. I save this logic. The logic has been applied. So for Switzerland, I created a logic, and if that logic is met, then this question will be shown. Rest of the questions will be hidden. Similarly, I'll have to do it for Paris as well. I've already done it. So see, for Paris too, if Paris is selected, then show this question. Similarly, for Bali, if Bali is selected, you see here, if Bali is selected, then show question. So what happens is, if you apply show and hide logic, and if the criteria is met and you have selected show question, by default, the rest of the questions will be hidden. And again, I'll again preview it and I'll show you. So select Switzerland this time. Right, I select Switzerland, click on next. You see only the question, how would you rate Switzerland, appears. So this is how show hide question works. So we also have a logic wherein you can show hide answer options. So this was a survey for show and hide questions. I'll just check if I have a survey for show and hide answer options. I don't think I have it, but I will quickly add that logic to one of the questions in my survey, and then. So say over here, I want to add the show hide answer options logic. So you click on logic, you see this is the option show hide options. So this options means answer options. So if I click on this, right, so this is where I create criteria. So if in question number 1, do you conduct surveys? If somebody is selecting yes, I save this. If yes is selected, then show option, and this is for website. For customer service, I hide this answer option, and for overall as well, I will hide. So I'm taking a random example. So this uh, the question would not make sense to you, but I'm taking a random example to just give you an idea how this thing works. So what I did was I defined a criteria, that is if for the first question, if yes is selected, that was the criteria. Then in this question, for website, show option. For customer service, hide the option. For overall, hide the option. So I save this question logic. I go to question number 1. I preview from here. So see, I've selected yes. This I'll answer randomly. And this is where I had applied. So only the website row choice has been displayed, and the remaining 2 row choices have not been displayed. So these are hidden. So this is how you can hide the answer options in your surveys. Right. So this was all about show and hide questions and show and hide answer options. Then we have another logic that we support, that is extraction logic. So for example, in your survey, you have a multiple choice question. So what I'll do is let me delete this first. Give me a moment. So in this survey, I have only one question: which types of credit cards do you have? So what extraction does is, so in this multiple select question, if a respondent is selecting say 3 answer options, so you can add another question following this question, in which only the answer options that the respondent has selected will be displayed. So this is where you need to use the extraction logic. So how you can do it is, you go to logic, I go to extraction. So you see, there are under extraction, you see extract to question type. So you can choose the next question type, the question type that you need to ask. So say I use a star rating question, that would be appear after this question, right? And I save question logic. So I have clicked on save question logic. You see another question has appeared with star rating. Please rate the following can be my next question. So what happens now is, if I preview this, and if I selected only Visa in as answer option, maybe, or let me select 2 answer options, that is Visa and MasterCard. I click on next. The next question will be, please rate the following. Only Visa and MasterCard have appeared. So whatever answer options are selected by the respondent are extracted and then displayed in the following question. This is how you can use extraction logic. Similarly, you can also use reverse extraction. That is, the answer options that have not been selected can be displayed in the subsequent question. So how you can do that is, go to extraction, and you see an option here, reverse extraction. So you click on this. So the answer options that have not been selected by the respondent will be displayed in the subsequent questions. So this was all about extraction logic. So we have covered almost all logic. See, we have covered skip, compound. We are yet to cover quota control, but we have and dynamic comments. So what quota control is? So in quota control, what you can do is, for every answer option, you can set up a quota limit, right? So say in this case, the question is, which types of credit cards do you have? And then the answer options are Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Diners Club. So I want responses from people who are using Visa. So I want only 5 responses, say. So I can define a quota as 5. So anybody who has selected visa 5 times, or say is selecting visa for the 6th time, what you can do is you can simply branch that respondent to a quota over limit message. So a message would be displayed to that respondent that we have collected whatever number of responses we were looking for visa. So it can be customized. The message can be customized, but then you can display a quota over limit message. So similarly, you can have different quotas set for all the answer options and then set up a branching from here. So this is how you can use quota control. And then now what dynamic text or comment box is. So you see, I clicked on dynamic text or comment box. So what happens is, if there is a multiple choice question and a respondent is selecting a particular answer option, you want to take some comments, open-ended text from that response. So what happens is, you can simply enable see, I went to dynamic text or comments for visa. Say if I enable this, and there will be a comment box appearing for a respondent who has selected visa, and then you can mention, say, why visa. Similarly, if somebody is selecting Diners Club, I enable this. I clicked on Save Question Logic. I close this. I preview this question. So if I click on Visa, you see a dynamic comment box appears. Why Visa? If I click on Diners Club, again a dynamic comment box appears. So it would be, so you can capture open-ended text from here if you wish to do so. You need to use dynamic comments or text box to apply this logic. So we have covered all this logic. So all this survey logic are supported by QuestionPro. I believe uh, I did not confuse you, and you have a fair idea of how you can use all these questions. So whatever requirement that you have, or whatever survey that you are running, you can use either of this logic to make your survey smarter. uh, if you still have any questions, I can see there are a few questions coming in, and our team is answering the queries. We have two more logic to be covered, which I'll be covering now, the randomization part. And then we will be moving to the send options. So before we start the send options, we can probably take a few questions on logic and then quickly cover the send options as well. So these were all the logic over here. Uh, in the add questions as well, you must have noticed, or in the yesterday's webinar as well, we mentioned that if you wish to randomize questions in your survey, or say randomly uh, display, pick up a question and then display it to a respondent. Say there are, say, 3 questions from which you want to display only one question. You can do that. There is a logic question for that. Else, if you want to randomize, there are different sections in your survey, or say different blocks in your survey. Say there are 3 different blocks. You want to pick up a block randomly, display it, then pick up a block from the remaining 2 blocks and then display it. So this is how you can simply randomize the blocks and display it to the respondents. Else, if you want to randomize all the questions in your survey and then display it to the respondents, that can also be achieved. So why we use randomization basically in surveys is to avoid bias, right? So there can be people who are answering the surveys without reading through the questions and simply answering for the sake of it. So just to make sure that there is no bias while responding to the survey, you can use randomization. Else, if you're conducting an online test, right? I'm so sorry, I missed out on covering scoring logic as well, so I'll be covering that. So since we are also concentrating on online tests and online quiz for faculty members, uh, if you're running a test for students, you want the questions to randomly appear to the students sitting in an exam room, right? So this is where you can use randomization logic. So there are 2 ways of doing it. I have a survey created for each. I'll go to randomization 1. Right. So in this survey, see, you can see I have 1, 2, and 3 questions, and then there is a static content question, that is thank you for your time. So from these three questions, what I want to do is I want to randomly select any one question and then display it to the respondent. So how I can do that is I will have to add a randomizer question. If you see, I go to add question, and in the advanced question, you see these are the logic questions. That is randomizer is one. So I will have to add a randomizer question, which I've already done here. So I click on the C. So for the questions which you need to randomize, these are the three questions. So I'll have to add that question, the randomizer question, prior to the first question in that block. So I've added the question. I clicked on this. I've added this question over here. What I'll do is I'll delete this. Right. So I click on add question. I go to advanced. I go to randomizer. Right. So this is the filler text. So this basically, if there are multiple survey admins and you want to mention some text for the survey admins, you can do it from here. So all. Right. So from here on, one question will be selected randomly and displayed to you. So I've added this filler text and I click on this, I edit this question. So you see randomization type, there are two types, that is randomly choose one question and display it. The next is randomize the order of the list of questions, that is block rotation. So currently we are concentrating on randomly choose one question and display it. I click on this and I select the questions that I wish to randomly select and display. So these are the three questions. How often do you conduct surveys? What type of credit cards do you use? And then the third is a star rating question, right? I save this. So I've added this. So what will happen is any one question will be displayed. And once that is displayed, then I want to redirect the respondent to this particular thank you for your time static content question type. So for each question, what I've done is I've added branching and branched them to question number 6. Question number 6 is this, thank you for your time. You can see I've branched them to question number 6. So I'll just preview it. I hope I'm not confusing all of you over here, but just an overview. We will also be sharing, so probably in the chat section or the Q&A section, my colleagues will be sharing a help file for this. So after the webinar as well, you can refer the help file. It is quite very clearly mentioned and you can apply that logic from there as well. So see, this was out of the three questions, only one will be selected randomly and displayed to you. This was the first question that I had added. And then there were three questions, only one is displayed. How often do you conduct surveys? I click on next and then thank you for your time. So this is how randomly one question can be selected and displayed to the respondent. Similarly, the other type of randomization that I mentioned earlier was block randomization. So this could be a bit confusing. But let me tell you first I'll try explaining it to you what exactly block randomization is. So as I mentioned earlier, say if there are different sections in your survey or say different blocks that you have defined. So what you can do is out of the, say there are 3 blocks, any one block randomly, say block number 3 is selected and then displayed to a respondent. For other respondent, block number 2 will be displayed. And one by one, all the blocks are displayed randomly and then the survey is terminated. So this can be achieved using block randomization. For that, you will have to first define the blocks in your survey. So you'll have to identify the blocks. So what I've done here is to see I've added about 10 to 12 questions in my survey. Uh, Tripti, if you can hear me, Tripti or Garima?
Yes, Tejas, please tell me.
Yeah, Tripti. So I'm trying to cover this block randomization. I just wanted to make sure if the attendees are following it, or if it is becoming confusing, what we can do is we can skip it. We probably can share a help file with people. Like if you can quickly ask
Sure.
any of the attendees.
Sure. So as of now, we aren't getting any questions regarding randomizer.
Right.
Like professors, in case you have any concerns regarding this particular topic, please let us know. Otherwise, we will be sharing the help files for this particular option, and it will be easier for you guys to continue.
Right.
Tejas, I believe we can continue with the webinar. Also, before you begin,
Hmm.
I have a particular question
Hmm.
coming in from Professor Firdaus.
Right.
Are you able to look at the questions and answers tab?
Let me check. I should
Yeah, so
be
it
able to.
is
Yeah.
regarding scoring logic, and I believe if you would be able to show it to, the other professors also as to how do we assign a positive and a negative score
Right.
on the different options of a particular question type,
Right.
and then generate net score for that particular question. So this is what professor is asking
So
a
I'll
couple of.
just read the questions. Like Professor Firdaus Khan's question is. If we have provided a list of options to a question, say something like which investments do you have, and we want to score each choice based on risk, non-risky, non-risky bank FD mutual funds bonds, then can we give positive and negative score for each choice, and then can we get one net score for that question? Absolutely, yes. So I believe all the other attendees are also able to see the questions. I'm not sure if they are able to,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think everyone is able
right,
to see the
right,
questions.
right. So
Probably if you
this
could just show them. Yes.
Yeah, so this is basically on the scoring logic, which I'll be covering after the randomization part. So
Okay.
randomization I'll quickly cover, and then we'll move on to scoring. And
Right,
Professor
right.
Firdaus, we can definitely do this. Once I demonstrate it to you, you will be in a better position to understand this, right? So Tripti,
Right.
I'll just,
Also,
yeah.
Tejas, I must say that you do you're conducting the session really nicely because we are getting this feedback from the other professors also. And
Oh, great. All
yeah.
right.
All
Thanks.
right,
Thanks a
let's
lot.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right. So block randomization, as I said, we can have three different blocks. And what I've done is I've added all these questions. So the first question is an introduction text, then a name question, and then there are all these questions. Like these are random questions, but then there are all these questions. Now what I'm planning to do here is I have created a block. The first block in my survey consists of these questions: question one, question two, and question three. That is, it ends at comment. The second block starts from question four. This is the question. This is another question in that block, and again a comment question. So the second block ends here, and then there is third block which starts over here. We have only two questions in three blocks. In the third block, the comment ends over here. So this is the end of block three, and then these are common questions that I want to ask in the same sequence to all the respondents. So these remaining two, question nine, how likely are you to continue using our products, and have you ever recommended us to others? So these are the questions. These are common questions. We can call them as common questions. So what I want to do is these are the three blocks that I've defined. Now I want to randomly select one block and display it to the respondents. So to achieve that, I will have to add the randomizer question before the first question in the block one. So I've added it over here. You can see. So I'll not go into detail. I'll edit this question. You will understand how I did it. So I clicked on this. From here, I selected the order of the list of questions. That is block rotation, block randomization. This is what I've selected. And I need to define a block termination question. So block termination question would be the common question. So there are two common questions, out of which this is the first common question at the end of the survey, right? So this would be the block termination. This is where my block is getting terminated. So over here, I've selected the block termination question as how likely are you to continue, right? So this is the filler text, which so you can simply put across a text that the questions from here on will appear randomly. And from after that, this is where you define the sections or the blocks in your survey. So you'll have to select the first question of every block. So my The first question of block one is this: how long have you been purchase of products or something is the question. So I check this. Comments is where it ends. The block one ends. Block two starts from this question. So I've checked this, and block three starts on this question, and it ends here. So this question number 9, serial number 12, is the block termination question which I've selected here. So I save this question, and I'll quickly preview this survey for you. So I preview this. So there were 2 common questions earlier, and then the questions from here on will appear randomly. So if you see now, this is I'm not able to recollect the block, but this is one of the blocks that I defined. After that, see, this is the block 3 because there were only 2 questions, and then probably this was the block 2 or block 1. I'm not able to recollect, but this is how. So different blocks can be identified and randomly displayed to the respondent. So what I did here was there were uh, every block had multiple questions. So if you want to randomize every question, what you can do is every block can have only one question. So you can have multiple blocks, and you can select only the, so the checkbox would be against all the questions in the survey. What will happen with that is every question will be randomly displayed to the respondent. So it would be really helpful if you are using it in your test. That is why I wanted to cover this particular thing for you people. So this was all about randomization. Please keep in mind, you simply need to for adding this particular logic, you will have to add question because we have a logic question in under advanced. So this is where you will find it, right? So we'll now move on to scoring logic. I'll first give an overview of how scoring works, and we probably will try taking the example that Professor Firdaus has mentioned in the questions. So I'm not sure in which survey do we, let me check. All right, so if even if I don't have it, okay, I have it applied over. So now what scoring logic is, basically in any question that you have added to your survey, right? Say it is a multiple choice question, select one question. I'll first take an example of test itself, an online test. So it is an online test. There are multiple choice questions in the test. Students are answering it. There's a question and there are 4 answer options, out of which one answer option is correct and the rest of the 3 are incorrect. So in this case, you will have to give out some score to the correct answer options and say a 0 score to the rest of the answer options. Or if you want to have negative marking, what you can do is you can give a higher score to the right answer options and say a negative marking to the rest of the answer options. How you can do that is, I'll consider this question: which genre of movies would you like to watch? I go to logic. You see scoring logic over here, right? I click on scoring, and I can have different score values given to each answer option. What I'll do is, instead of considering this example, I'll quickly add one, say 2 plus 2, and the answer is, answer options are say 0, 2, 4, 8, and I save this. So I go to logic. So 2 plus 2 is 4, we know that. So what I'll do is I go to logic, I go to scoring. So 4 is the right answer option. I give it a score as say 4, and all the rest of the answer options are incorrect. I give it a score as say -1, -1, -1. And I'll just save it. We'll cover this portion afterwards. Just a moment, give me a moment. I save question logic. Right, I've saved it. Now I preview it. And what I'll also do is in the footer itself, say I want to display the score so that we'll just check it real time. So this is again similar to the custom variables which I mentioned earlier. So if you want to show the score, say at the end of the test on the thank you page, right? So you can have a customized thank you page design for the students, and on that thank you page, in the message itself, you can mention the score for your test is, and then you can recall the score value. So this score is getting updated real time after the respondent has answered the questions one by one, and it is stored in a custom variable. And to recall that particular thing, you need to use this syntax, that is dollar curly bracket open score curly bracket close. So what I've done is I've added it into the footer. I'll save these changes. So I preview this. You see in the footer it has appeared dollar score. I'll select 2 plus 2 is 4. Oh, okay. So it was interactive, so that we were not on the same page, but it would have displayed the score, that is 4. The So it was the score for the right answer option was 4. That is why the score would be calculated as 4. For rest of the options, the score will be calculated as -1. So now, taking the question of Professor Firdaus Khan, if we have provided a list of options to a question, say something like, which investments do you have? And we want to score each choice based on risk. All right. So maybe equity or debt funds, etc., is what you are referring to. Then can we give positive and negative score for each choice, and then can we get the net score for so I believe, ma'am, I've already answered your question. So your question can be which investments do you have, and then scores, you can assign the scores as per the risk that is involved into investments, as mentioned by you. So say for the answer option, so say it is a multiple choice question, there are 5 answer options. Each answer option has a particular score assigned to it. So based on the risk, like it is totally up to the survey administrator, and he or she can give out the scores. And what will happen is, if in the multiple choice question, uh, say this was a multiple choice question, and I had selected 4 and 2 as answer options. So for 4, the right answer option, the score was 4, and for 2 it was -1. So the net score that would be calculated will be 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the net score would be 3. So this is how you can use scoring logic in your survey. I believe I've answered your survey, ma'am. So like Tripti, if you can ask Professor Firdaus if I was able to answer it, and then we'll quickly move on to the send options. Like logic is almost done. If you have any questions, we can take them. Else we will move on to send options.
Sure. So, Tejas, yeah, the question has been answered. Professor Firdaus is all right with the answer, so
Right.
we can carry forward. Yeah.
Great, great. So, professors, I would like to mention here, we are running out on time. Initially, I believe I wasted a bit of time in covering what we did yesterday. But I'll quickly move on to send options. If you have any questions, please keep on posting them in the Q&A section. I'll cover the send options in another, say, 10-15 minutes, and then we'll try and take whatever questions we can, and then we can end this webinar after that. Right? So, right. So we covered how to add questions to your survey, and then how to make your survey smarter. Right now, the time is to distribute your service to ensure how your service can reach out to a maximum number of people. Right, so QuestionPro supports. So for that, you will have to click on send. So QuestionPro has different mediums that you can use to distribute the survey. So these are all the mediums that we have. That is email management tool, then there is social, community, embed, QR code, and expert services. So I'll cover one by one all these. Email management is the best way to distribute your service. As I mentioned earlier, to one of the questions, I believe Professor Nitin had asked that question. So say I want to send out the email, send out the survey to 1,000 people. I have an email list of 1,000 people, 1,000 email addresses with me, and I want to just do an email blast, send it out to people. I can do it using email management tool. So this is how it looks like. So currently I'm under compose. I'm so sorry. So over here in the from email address, the email ID that is associated with your account will appear, right? In the two email address, you'll have to enter in the email address to which you have to send the survey to. You can change the survey invitation from here. This is the default template that we have created, right? Default template for you people to use. If you want to change this, if you want to change the template, you can change it from here. So I'll simply edit it below survey. And I'll have to include a survey link. So you see options over here. This is insert survey links, right? So if I click on tracked respondents, all the respondents will be tracked. So I'm sending it out over email, say 1,000 email address. I will once I've collected all the responses, I will know this, whether a particular response has come from a particular email address or not. So I click on track response. If I click on anonymous, I'll not be able to track the respondent's email address. And this will be the survey link text. So it would be there would be a link that will be hyperlinked. So you can either say it as start survey or say register here. Could be anything. I'm just, for the sake of editing, I am just mentioning register here. Track response, you see the survey link appears, and then thanks. So this is how you can edit. So there is a default template, but if you want to use some other template, you can create your templates. So you can add templates from here and then save it. You can use those templates from here, right? So this was inserting a survey link, right? Uploading the email list, I'll come to that, but I'll quickly cover the rest of the things. So this is insert variables. So as I mentioned earlier, if I want to personalize the email invitation that I'm sending out, I'll have to use custom variables. So if I've defined some custom variables, I can insert those custom variables. So say over here, I want to mention hi and first name of whoever is receiving the email. So what I'll do here is I'll click on first name, also insert last name. So this will be more of a personalized email address. Say in custom variable one, you have stored the company name, say I say it as custom one, say department custom two. So this is how, Professor Nitin, I believe it would be more clear for you now. This is how you can use the custom variables. So you can store values into custom variables and then recall it. I'm showing it currently into the email invitation, but this is how you can do it. Now, right, so this is where I inserted the variables from. So, and here you can see the send option. So you can send it immediately, or you can also schedule it. You can click on send later and schedule the email invitation to be sent out at some other time. Now coming to the email list. Now say I have 1,000 email addresses. So instead of adding each email address one by one, what I can do is I can create an email list into QuestionPro. So you see the option over here. I click on create email list. This is where I can upload an email list. Say all right, and then you can see an option here, type. It could be a global list or a service specific list. So service specific is this list would be only for the survey I'm currently into. If I'm selecting global list, the list can be used across all the surveys in your account. So let me keep it as service specific. I create a new list. Right, so there are, this is where you can import the contacts from. So you see currently I am under lists, and this is where I can import. So I can have all the email lists collated in an Excel file or a CSV file. So you see it can be Excel or CSV. You can browse it and upload it over here. Now the important part over here is you first of all you should know what format the Excel file should be. So you can click on advanced settings and you see the data format. So you can customize the data format. So if you have only email addresses, you use this. If you have email address, first name and last name, you use this. So if you use this particular option, email address, first name and last name, so this is where the first name will be stored, right? The system will identify it as a first name. And then when you insert the variable while sending out the email invitation, insert the variable as first name, that first name will be recalled in the email invitation. Similarly, you can use email address custom field one custom. So as I said, there are up to 255 custom variables. See, you can see this up to 255. If you do not have 255 variables, you have only 5, you can use this. So why I'm covered, so this is where you can define custom variables. So I'll give you an example quickly. Say I select this, or let's not do it. It will consume a bit of time. So I'm so sorry, I'll not cover it, but you can understand it quite straightforward. You can select a particular email format, and then in the Excel file. So for example, I'm selecting this email address, first name, last name, field 1, field 2, up to 255 variables. So in the Excel file that I'm creating, the first column will be email address. The second column will be first name, corresponding first name for that email address. Third column, last name. And then from the fourth column onwards, it will be custom field 1, custom field. This is where you can define the custom variables. And then to recall those custom variables, you will have to use, this is the syntax. So this can be easily found on the help files. You search for a help file for custom variables. It's not necessary to remember the syntax, but this is the syntax. You'll definitely find it, and then you can recall it. So dollar curly bracket open custom one curly bracket close. So once you have uploaded that Excel file, so sorry, oh, I have not saved that custom email file. That is why I'm not able to find it. Right. So you select the email format, sorry, the file format from here, insert the values, and then upload it. You can browse, import it, and this is how all the email list, the entire email list will be uploaded. You can simply select the email list from here. So all the lists that you have added, you can select it from here and do an email blast. So the email invitation, survey invitation would be sent out to all the 1,000 email addresses from here. So yeah, so I've tried to cover everything, but if still, if we have confused you over custom variable part, if you have any questions, you can write to us. We can connect with you separately and then help you out with that. So this was all about email management. So you can send out unlimited email invitations from your account. So the access level that you people have, you can send out unlimited number of email invitations. The next way of distributing the survey is you can distribute it over social media. So you can post the survey on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter from here, right? So what will happen is the survey link will appear on your Facebook page. All your followers, all your friends can see that survey link, click on it, and start answering the survey from there. So this is how you can reach out to all your social media connects via Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Community is a separate product that we offer to our clients. So I don't believe you all of you as university users will have access to it. I'm not sure about it, but what community is, so if you have a panel of respondents into your account, you have say 50,000 respondents email addresses into your account, and you want to create different communities, right? So for example, a community for people from the IT background, community for people from say different backgrounds, could be anything. So what you can do is with this product, you can manage all the communities. You can create a new project, send out the project to a particular community, and start collecting responses from there. Then we have an option to embed. So what you can do is uh, you can also embed your service to your website. So this is called as website embedded. Uh, there are different ways to do it. It would be simply embedded to the website. All the questions, it is a poll kind of a thing. Say only one question and answer options to it. You can embed it to a website that would appear on the website itself, the question itself. Else you want to have say a web feedback, so a feedback button on the website, people click on it, the survey opens up. Or say a tab survey, or a web pop-up, a pop-up survey we call it as. So anybody visiting your website, a pop-up would come up asking that visitor to take a survey, or could also be a exit survey. So it involves a bit of a technical thing. So somebody who is managing your website would be able to do this. So if you're planning to do so, you can connect with our support team or online chat, and we will help you in getting this done. But again, this is another way of distributing the survey. You make it available on your website. All the visitors can simply go and take the surveys from there. So again, one of our clients, I spoke with that professor yesterday itself. What she is doing is she is uh, giving out assignments to students, and she is using QuestionPro to do that. So there are a few questions in that, and it is a multiple choice question type of a assignment, and she is embedding that particular survey to the website. So the students can simply go to the website, click on that link, and start answering the assignment from there itself. So these are different ways you can use to distribute the survey. Then we have QR code. So QR code, for every survey that you create into your account, there is a unique QR code that is generated. You can download this QR code and paste it anywhere. Anybody with a mobile device can simply scan the QR code, the survey would appear and and that person can start answering the survey. So this is another way of distributing the survey. And then we have expert services. So if any one of you is doing a research project and is looking out for a specific set of respondents, you can simply let us know. This is an additional service that we provide. We can make the respondents available. It could be across any geography. Could be, the requirement can be anything, like people from a particular sector with a particular experience. You can simply let us know and we'll get those respondents for you. This is a paid service, but then we definitely can help you. So one of our clients who is doing a survey wants respondents from entire Asia Pacific region. They can simply let us know and we provide those respondents to them. So these are different ways of distributing the survey. So I tried covering the send options. I believe I could cover everything. If you have any questions, any attendees, if they have any questions, Tripti, we can take questions. We are almost on like 4:30. It's almost overtime, so
Right.
let's see.
Teachers, if I'm not wrong, like, have we covered the offline application?
Oh, right, that is remaining. So I mentioned
Yeah.
it earlier. I'll quickly cover it. So as I
Right.
mentioned, all the attendees, as I mentioned earlier, we also provide an offline mobile app. So along with your QuestionPro account, if you go to mobile, you click on mobile, right? So there is one device key that is already added to my account. If I want to add additional device keys, I can do it from here. But additional device keys will be chargeable. This would be free. The one which is by default present is free. So now what this app is, QuestionPro also helps you. This is another way of collecting responses. So for example, you are running a survey in a remote location, or somewhere where you do not have access to internet. You can simply use a mobile device to collect responses. So this app works offline. In the offline mode, internet connectivity is not required. Whenever you create a account into a survey into your QuestionPro account, that survey is automatically synced to the mobile app. So that survey appears on the mobile app. Even if there is no internet connectivity, anybody can click on that survey and start answering the survey. You can collect all the responses on the mobile app itself. And whenever you're back into internet connectivity, you simply need to click on the synchronize button. All the data that you have collected using the mobile app will be synchronized into your QuestionPro account, and then you can analyze the responses from there. So it becomes for colleges. What I can give you an example. There, say there is a visiting faculty doing a lecture. You want to take feedback from students. You can have a survey created and circulate a mobile app to all students. People sitting there, students sitting there can give out responses to the survey, and this is how you can collect feedback. So right, so that should be it, I believe. Triptis, if we have any questions, we can take them.
Right. So Tejas, Professor Firdaus, she earlier asked a question on the questions and answers tab, but
Hmm.
mistook it for something else. So the question was, can we use the syntax dollar curly bracket custom variable curly bracket close?
Hmm.
Can we use this option to reveal the correct answer after each question that has been answered? So what I thought was that she was probably referring to the scoring option. So I did tell her that this can be done to reveal the score if we want to look over it immediately on the workbook that we're working on. So but probably I am not sure if this option can be used on our workbook.
All right. Correct answer to be revealed after every question, is it?
Yeah, I
Can
mean
can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah, please tell.
Right. Ma'am, we will have to think on this. There is definitely we can do it. Right away, I'm not able to get an answer for it. But then what we can do is probably see you as a survey admin, you know what the correct answer for a question is, right? Uh, you can store that correct answer value in custom variables. So we covered the custom variables just now. So I believe you were not able aware of custom variables then when you asked this question. But then the correct answer for every question, say 5 questions, there are 5 questions. For every question, custom variable uh, can be defined as the correct answer, and how to display it to the respondent is what we will have to look into.
Right.
So,
So I believe we can look into it and we can reach out to Professor Firdaus separately about
right, right.
this.
But we can
Yeah.
definitely do it. Like we can store it into custom variables. Just the thing is, we will have to check how we can display it to the respondents. We'll
Right.
definitely get back to you, ma'am, with this.
All right.
Anything
So
else?
we don't have any further questions being asked right now.
Right.
That's what I would like to ask all the professors. If you guys have any questions for us, please ask them right now. In case you want, we can also unmute you, and we could talk to you directly and help you solve out your queries. Do we have any further questions, professors? All right. So, no further questions being asked, Tejas. I believe we are done with the session for today.
Right.
Uh, we can call it a day then. Yeah.
All right. All right. So thank you all for attending this webinar. I believe I could uh, explain it to you well how the survey logic and the send options work. If you have any questions after the webinar as well, you can simply write to us to the email address that I shared earlier. I'll mention it again. That is edu-india@questionpro.com. So please make a note of this, edu-india, and then you can have @questionpro.com. You can write to us, and we'll try and answer, help you with whatever queries you have. You can also make use of our online chat support. We are conducting the third part of the webinar, which is quite an interesting. The reporting part we'll be covering tomorrow. So please try and attend the tomorrow's webinar as well. If you have any colleagues who would like to join in, they can also join in. You can share the registration links with them. And tomorrow we'll be done with all the 3 parts. Once we are done with all the 3 parts, we'll be sharing the recording of all the 3 webinars with you, so that in future, if you have to refer it, you can refer them as well. And I believe you are also aware of the certification. So once everybody has attended the 3 webinars or referred the recordings, they can run a research project or an online test onto QuestionPro. Once they have run one complete research or an online test on QuestionPro, they will be certified as QuestionPro certified researchers. So there is a small procedure. We will have to verify what all surveys that you have done from your account, and then we can give out. So we'll connect with you again for the certification. You can claim the certificates from us after the webinars are done. So that should be it for today. Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for being patient. If you have any questions, we are there always to help you. Thanks a lot.